Good morning, guys. Welcome to a book shopping vlog here. I have a few different bookstores I'm going to go to today. I'm taking the kids with me. We are going to a local Christian bookstore that I haven't been to in years. They're in a different location than they were at the last time I was there years and years ago. I ordered 2 books in that they didn't have, so I ordered them in. They're there, they're ready. So of course we're going to browse the bookstore. I have my eye on a couple different books. We'll see what they all have. I don't know what they all have like in-store stock, but they did send out a coupon yesterday that they have a 20% off a regular price book, so that might help. And then after that, I want to go to my favorite used bookstore. I went there in December when I did a vlog. I found out they have a whole L.M. Montgomery shelf, so like that's changed what I do when I go there now. I'm gonna check out that shelf for sure, but there is a book that I need to buy. So a couple days ago I picked the winner, or the patron of the month for my Patreon. So anyone in my Windy tier, I can't say that word, my Windy Poplars tier, that phrase stumps me every time, was put into a draw, and so I picked a winner and they get to pick a book that is on my wish list for me to buy and then read next month. They've picked the book out. I think I'll be able to find it at this used bookstore. I'm hoping so. It's old enough that it probably should be there, and also kind of like popular enough, but like not too popular. So I have high hopes that it will be there. We do plan on going to a third bookstore as well, so if that book isn't at the used bookstore, maybe they'll have it there. Saskatoon has a really cool bookstore called McNally Robinson. It's an independent store, but there is a couple, I think there's 2 locations in Manitoba as well. But they have a tree in the middle of the store and a spiral staircase going up to a 2nd level, and that's where like the kids section is. So that's where my kids want to go. Definitely their favorite bookstore. So we're gonna go there, and then depending how my earlier book buying goes will depend what I'll buy there or how much, or we'll see. So I thought I would take you guys along because book shopping is fun, and even though when I watch book shopping videos, like I know I can't buy the books people are buying, I can't reach through the screen, I still love watching them, and I know some of you are weird like that, like me, so let's just have a fun book shopping day. Okay, so we've been to 2 out of 3, maybe 4 bookstores. We'll see how many we go to yet. I think we're being successful. Everybody's bought at least 1 book. Some of us have bought more than others. But I'm pretty sure everyone's going to buy a book from the next door. That's the plan. So we will see how it goes. This is not good for the budget, but it's a lot of fun. that down as a fairly successful book shopping trip. I mean, I bought books, so it was successful in that way for sure. So the first place we went to was a Christian bookstore. I had a book on hold, and that one is Holy Huga. I am going to be doing this as a book club for the people on my homeschool membership site. So we're going to be reading this in February. It's actually a pretty short little book. We're just over 200 pages. The subtitle is Creating a Place for People to Gather and the Gospel to Grow. So that kind of seems perfect for a home and a homeschool. So I'm excited about this one. And then I wanted to buy a book there as well, a fiction book. I perused. I would have, if they would have had Nadine Brandes' A Time to Die book, I would have purchased it. But they had A Time to Speak, I think, which I think is book 2 in the series. But I want to finish book 1 first. I started on audio a long time ago, and I'm just not good. If I don't have a physical copy, I'm just not good with it. So I didn't buy that. And then I was debating between All the Lost Places and Blackout Book Club, both of which I actually have access to on NetGalley. Once again, if I don't have a physical copy, I'm just so not good at it. But I ended up going with All the Lost Places because I just barely finished her other book, Set the Stars Alight, and I loved it so very much. And this one takes place in Venice, which sounds like a cool setting. And it's dual timeline, but it's 1807 and 1904. And so, like, to my knowledge, there's no present day timeline. And I mean, maybe I've read a dual timeline book like that before, but I don't remember ever reading a dual timeline book that didn't have like a present day or like fairly close to present day timeline. So I'm very curious about this. Then from there, where did we go from there? We went to the used bookstore that I really like. And of course they had an Anthony Horowitz book, but not the one that I needed. They had The House of Silk, which is another one I want to read. This one is a Sherlock Holmes novel. So it's the first book in this series where he writes a Sherlock story, and I love Sherlock, so I'm excited about this. But the one that I needed was Magpie Murders, and they didn't have it there, so I bought a different book. I also found, like, I love the covers of these Agatha Christie books. This one though is not actually an Agatha Christie. This is Agatha Christie's, it's called the Agatha Christie Who's Who, and this has a list of all of her characters. So every letter of the alphabet, we go through all the characters. I don't know 100% how much I would like use this, but I thought it was a cool resource. This one was only $5 for like this nice book that will look good on my shelf, go with my Agatha Christie collection. I do have at least one of the books in this series. Actually, it has 2 books in it. Maybe eventually I can collect more of them. That would look cool on the shelf. So it's gonna go with my collection. It's gonna look good on the shelf, and maybe I will reference it sometimes. As a Agatha Christie lover, I feel like I just needed to have this one. And then from there, we went to McNally Robinson. It's like a local independent bookstore. My kids are obsessed with it, like I said before, because of the tree and the spiral staircase. And I mean, they have a really good selection of kids' books. So I thought, I'll look there for this Magpie Murders book. It wasn't there. They had another Anthony Horowitz series, but not the book that I needed. So I guess I will have to probably end up ordering that one from Amazon because I want to shop more locally, independent, small business this year. But sometimes it's hard because they just don't have what you're looking for. So I did attempt one more time to try to find the book, and I didn't find it. But we went to Value Village thrift store and I found a couple books, and then I was like, well, I need to get one more book because it's buy 4 get 1 free. So I'll show you what I all got here. It's a wide variety. First of all, I got the middle grade book Pax. This is one I have like looked for a long time. It's about a boy that has a fox, and his dad sets the fox free when they move, and it's like heartbreaking but also really good. And so it's one I've been looking for a long time. So I snagged this. I think she overcharged me though. I think she charged me like $5 for this one because for some reason they now price all their books. They have tags on them all, but this one didn't have one. And then I got, okay, Stuart McLean's Stories from the Vinyl Cafe. This one is book 1 in the series. I have book number 7. And apparently you don't have to read them in order, but I thought, well, maybe I should at least start with book 1, and then if I like it, I'll go on to 7. This one was $6. The only reason I snagged this one was because I got one free. Though, of course, they go with the cheapest one. Is the free one, of course. Okay. Then, in my newsletter, I send out a bookish newsletter about... It's generally every Friday. Sometimes I miss one, sometimes it's Saturday. But this last weekend, I asked for a book recommendations for books that are over 500 pages. And I got some great suggestions, some of which I've read, some of which I'm going to keep an eye out for. And I have never heard of this book. They emailed me just yesterday about this one. It's called The 13½ Lives of Captain Blue Bear. Now, I think this is like a silly, fantastical, satire-esque, I think like made for kids, because she said her kids and her really enjoyed it. Definitely not usually in my element, but big books catch your eye when you're in the thrift store. And so it snagged my eye, and I'm like, I've never seen this book before. I've never heard anyone ever talk about it. What are the odds I find it the day after I'm told about it? So I had to grab it, and it's like 600, it's almost 700 pages. I don't really know anything about it. I don't know if I'm gonna like it, because the kind of humor that I think it's gonna have is not generally my favorite. I should almost read it out loud to my son, but I found it, so I bought it. This one was $5.99 as well. And then I have an Agatha Christie. I found one. This one was $3.99. Sometimes these stickers leave all that film behind, and that's very frustrating. They came to Baghdad. I was pretty sure I didn't own this one. I haven't read it for sure. I don't see it on my shelf behind me there. I've heard really good things about this one. It's in a very different edition that I've never owned a Agatha Christie in before, but I snagged that one. And then the last one is a book that is on my wish list. Like these stickers are literally peeling the covers off of the books. That shouldn't be allowed. Look at that. That's pieces of my book. For $4.99, I found Caroline, Little House Revisited. She also, oh, she just published another book, and now I don't remember which one. I had that one on my wish list too. Is it, oh man, now I'm just gonna look this up. Okay, yeah, it's Marmee from Little Women. This one wasn't in super great condition, but once you find a few that you enjoy, and then there's a book that's, you know, you get 4, you get a free one, then it's more enticing. Also, this is so interesting. It says, from Darren to Mum, October 2017. Fern, October 2017, great reading. Elizabeth, January 2018, enjoyable read and flashbacks from my childhood. Darren, May 2018, nice story, like visiting an old friend. Barb, June 2018, really enjoyed the story from a mother and wife's perspective. Thanks. So Darren gave this to his mom. Maybe the mom is Fern, because those are in the same handwriting. And then somebody else read it, and then Darren read it, and then Barb. I don't know who these people are, but I love what they're doing with their book. You better believe I am going to be... This is so cool. I am totally going to put my thoughts in here once I read it, because I want to continue this. And I feel like I should start this with other books. What a cool little find. Yeah, so that was the last book that I got. So I got a few. Didn't find the one that I was like specifically looking for, but I found some other ones. Let me know which from these you're excited for me to read next. If you're going to start keeping little notes, this is so neat. Because I think I am, at least in some books. I need to think about this more. Thank you so much for coming along with me as we went book shopping from place to place and my little mini book haul.